Hello everybody, BigPlanes here, and this video is going to be a little bit different from what I typically make on this channel. However, I think this is something that will interest a lot of my viewers, so I wanted to go ahead and make this video anyway. So this video is going to be about how I store my large Lego airplanes. Now, I've gotten this question a lot of times where people will notice in my videos that not all of my models are on display in this room. In fact, many of the models that I've built are not on display at all. And a lot of people think, do I take them apart? Do I store them? And the answer to most of those questions are I store my models. Now, the way I do it for each one's a little bit different. However, in this video, I'm going to show you how I store my custom Lego airplanes. Now, of course, this is sort of a niche topic since most people don't have large Lego airplanes to store. You could take this video and apply it to pretty much anything, though. You could apply it to how to package a glass lamp or your Lego buildings or your Lego modulars or whatever it might be. But this video is specifically about how I store my Lego airplanes, in particular the 777. This is the Boeing 777-300. I recently, a couple months ago, I think, filmed a video about this, the main video. I will link to that in the description below. But yeah, I'm going to show you how I store these pretty much just in a large cardboard box. And there's a few reasons why you would want to do this. One of the reasons being you want to clear out some space for another model. Another reason might be that you want to prevent it from getting all dusty and yucky. Another reason would be you want to prevent the white pieces from yellowing in the sun. You don't want these to be sitting out in the sun for too long because that's not good for the Lego itself. Or maybe you just want to organize these and put them in a box somewhere. I don't know what it is for you, whatever it would be. But for me, I know I need to store this Lego airplane, and I'm going to show you in this video exactly how I do that. So let's dive right into it. Alright, so before we get started in the actual packaging of the plane, you're going to want a few things. First things first, you're going to want a nice big box. This is a pretty decent sized box. It's very long and it's deep, so it will be able to fit pretty much the entire airplane. So you're going to want one of these. You are also going to want some packing tape, obviously, so we can close the box and so we can also keep the bubble wrap around the plane itself. Now, with the packing tape, you're going to want to be careful using this with bubble wrap. You have to ask yourself, is this long-term storage or is this short-term storage? Because if this is short-term storage, I would advise against using packing tape to wrap the bubble wrap because it will destroy the bubble wrap. However, it will do a very good job of keeping the bubble wrap on the airplane. So you have to sort of ask yourself, do you want to ruin the bubble wrap? But, you know, it's a cost and benefit situation there. You will also need whatever packing you can come up with. These are just some large bubble packs that I found. These will come in many packages or orders these days, so those are very useful. And then, of course, you're going to want some good old bubble wrap. This will be for padding the airplanes and just generally keeping things from moving around too much and preventing things from crumbling. So bubble wrap is very important. Now, some people, when they're packaging their large models, will use saran wrap. They will wrap the entire model with saran wrap and shove that on a cart and store it like that. And that works for some people, but for me, I don't really do that because my models are very awkwardly shaped and it would probably just end up ruining them. So again, three very basic things here. You just need box, padding, some bubble wrap, and some tape. So let me show you exactly how I go about doing this. Alright, so once you've assembled your box, the first thing that I would do is line the inside of the box with padding. So in this case, I put bubble wrap in there, and this will help just create a nice sort of padded cocoon for whatever you're going to put inside. And this isn't 100% necessary, but I like doing this because it just offers that little bit extra bit of protection for your model once it's inside of this box. So the next thing we're going to do is actually package the model itself to fit in here. Now this next bit's going to be a little trickier because we have a big model and it all has to fit in this box. I want to fit it all in this box. So I'm going to have to do some rearranging here, and it's sort of like a little jigsaw puzzle, and eventually I think we're going to be able to fit it all in here. So let's get to that. Alright, so the first section that I would start with, in my case, would be the largest section. So in this case, this is going to be the center wing piece. Now, in most cases for me, the largest section of my models are usually the core. This is where all of the really sort of complicated components are in this model. We have the landing gear, the wing box, the flaps. This is where everything extends out from. So this is the most important model, this is the most important segment, and this is the one that gets put in first because it's the largest. So what we're going to do is take our trusty bubble wrap and we're going to try to pad this up as much as possible. Now obviously it's a big piece and we're not going to be able to cover it completely, but what you want to do is just cover under the fuselage so the doors and the bottom doesn't get all scratched up, and then you want to maybe put some over the wings. We're probably good putting it over here, although I might put one on top just for safe measure. So let's do that right now. Alright, so now I have moved the segment into the box, and I want to point out a few things before we go forward. The first things first is I have placed the heavy segment directly in the center. Now, this is done primarily for stability reasons because you don't want it off to one side or the other. You could if you wanted to, but in this case it works out best in the center. Now, another thing I've done is I've placed more bubble wrap at the very front up here and at the very back. This again is very important because you don't want it sliding forward and back. Here's something else that I have learned the hard way that you need to do. These wings right here, since this model here has a dihedral, so that means the wings point up in each direction. What you need to do is you need to support under those wings because we are going to be putting things on top of this. So if pressure is applied going down, it could absolutely total the wing carry-through structure in the center. And unfortunately, I have had that happen before where I've opened up the box and the wing is just destroyed and I had to go in and replace multiple hinges that had actually snapped. So I found that using the half-size pick-a-brick cups actually works best for this. And what you do is you just get a couple of them and you stick them under each wing. So just go down and wedge it under there. Then you go over to the other side and you do the same thing. And that will help ensure that if any pressure is applied that's pushing this down, the wings are not going to snap under the load. This is very important because that's all hollow space under there. Now, of course, there's still a lot of space left around this. We are going to use every available square inch here because, again, this is going to be very tightly packed once we're done. So let's move on to the next segment, which will be basically just filling all of this in with whatever will fit there because we basically have to fit everything that was previously on the table that I showed you into this box. So let me show you that. Alright, so you can see here that I have fit as much as I can into the first layer, and you can see that things are packed pretty tight in there. I've tried to fill in every little space with the parts that I have. You can see that the engines are down in that corner, the nose is here, I've got a bunch of little bags lining the corners. Obviously that's part of the tail and the horizontal stabilizer on the tail there. And then I just went in and filled all the little gaps, the little trinkets or little connection points or whatever it will be. And I've also put airbags and bubble wrap in there to help fill the gaps. Now, we're not done yet. Obviously, I still have some very large sections that need to be put in here. Except what we're going to do is I'm actually going to lay down another layer, another floor here. It's going to be a piece of cardboard that will be cut to fit right in here. That will allow us to stack heavier items, such as, for instance, this very large fuselage chunk. This is very heavy, and you can't just set it straight down onto the parts below because it will break them. So we need to create something that will help distribute the load. We're going to level this off as much as we can, fill it in with bubble wrap, get it a little more cushioning, and then I'm going to put another layer of cardboard on it so that we can stack the next few segments. So let me show you how that works. Alright, so you can see now that I have cut out a piece of cardboard and I have set it on top of the previous packing job. And at this point I have also lined that piece of cardboard with more bubble wrap. And we can now put more segments on top of this, and this is a nice way that allows you to be able to stack sections within a box, and putting the piece of cardboard down helps to distribute the weight so the load won't be super hard on one segment or another, and hopefully that'll help things from not breaking. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this in with the remaining parts that we have, and I will get back to you when I'm done with that. So yeah, you can see that I have finally gotten everything in and have taped the box up. So yeah, I hope this video has been helpful for you. This is just the process that I go through, at least, to store my models. So now at this point I can just take this box and chuck it in a closet or a storage unit or wherever that may be. But yeah, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. I'm also going to add on a clip at the end of this video showing how I disassemble some of my models. And I actually filmed a time lapse, or a speed unbuild video, if you will, of me taking apart the Airbus A380. So I will link that at the end of this video, just for kicks and giggles, because I thought you guys might like it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Expect more content in the future, and that's all I really have for this one. Hope you've enjoyed it. Bye for now.